So I'm here with Vinny, the owner of the yacht, and he's going to give us a walkthrough of his beautiful vessel. What year is she, sir?
This is a 1990 42-foot Endeavor named the Cleopatra by the Eye of Horus on the bow. Anybody who understands Egyptian history understands the Eye of Horus. It's been completely remodeled, to the tune of $200,000 plus on top of the purchase price in 2013. It has hard stainless steel rails, completely redone. It is a cutter rig. If you notice, all of the extraneous handrails on the bow have been removed because you don't need them with the hard rails. All of the hatches and ports have been completely replaced. From the bow to the stern, everything was taken off. It has a new mast, it has a new in-mast main furling system, new boom, new rigging.
All right.
All of the ports are brand new. I don't know what else to tell you up here.
How long ago did you buy her?
2013.
Okay, and where did you find her?
In Jacksonville.
Okay.
Yep.
And after you bought her, you had her refitted.
Yep.
At Embry Marine.
Yep.
And what all did Embry Marine do?
She was in there for 10 months, and we had everything completely taken off, as I explained, from the deck down. The entire hull was completely ground down, completely de-blistered, re-epoxied, and re-fiberglass. All of the through hulls were replaced with Marlon below and above the waterline. All of the seacocks are replaced with Marlon. All of the lines going to the seacocks have been replaced. All of the diesel fuel lines have been replaced. It carries 100 gallons of diesel fuel, 50 gallons underneath the stern tank or underneath the stern bunk, and 50 gallons in a V-berth.
Walk with me, Vinny.
Okay.
I'm listening. You said in the V-berth?
And the V-berth is another 50-gallon tank. There's complete fuel control system on being able to rebalance the boat fuel for the return line for the diesel fuel. You can put it in the forward or aft tank depending on what you need. The interior was completely redone. All of the upholstery is completely redone. The aft cabin's completely redone. We added stern hatches in the aft cabin. The canvas is kind of interesting. The Dodger you see here, actually the way it's designed, the side panels roll up or can come off. So you can either hide them underneath as they are right now, or they roll down and enclose the entire cockpit. And then the external panels roll up so you can be weatherproof in bad weather and still see. In addition to that, there's the way the front windshield screen works is there's a pleat in the front that you pull out, and that allows air to scoop into the cockpit, and then there's an extension off of the stern canvas that covers the aft hatch, so that you can get wind in through the front of the cockpit and then down into the aft cabin and then out the stern hatches.
And tell me about all the metalwork in the aft.
The radar arch is designed so that you have the ability to either have shade or sun in the back. The arch is designed to have solar panels on it. They're not on there yet, but all of the electronics and all that stuff is in there. And then also the dinghy hangs off of the stern up high enough so that you can walk off the stern without hitting your head. And also when that arch drops down, holds the dinghy steady in the water so that you don't have it moving around as you're trying to step it in. It also has an engine lift run to the starboard side and stern. Both of those lines run in a circular pattern. They also can be used in synchronicity with the main winch so that you don't have to try and do it manually. Everything runs back to the main winch and you can just winch it up.
Very nice, very nice. Take me aboard, sir. I want you to listen. Whew, look at all the new instrumentation. Oh, that's all brand new.
All of it. Bow thruster, shadowcaster lights. The vessel has 6 LED multicolored shadowcaster lights built here in Dunedin, Florida. There's a whole mechanism on how you can operate the thing, which I can show anybody how to do it. You have the windlass, and then we also have all of the controls here. We have deck lights, we have spreader lights, we have running lights, and we have a blower. All of this is designed so you can handle it up here. All of the heads for the instrumentation are all new. All of the lines for sailing are run into the cockpit. It's completely redone so that everything needed to handle this vessel is run back here.
Which is nice because the original version didn't have that, and what a lot of people like new boats, they like that you can single handle and all the lines are running aft. Okay.
The Bimini itself is custom designed. There are no bolts in it at all. It is completely welded. It has the double rigid rails on both sides, which you will never see in any other Bimini ever made, so that you can get support to hold up the side panels, and also you can grab anywhere on this and it is not going to let go.
Beautiful. All right, take me down below, sir. Spared no expense. This boat is gorgeous.
Little designs like the handrail and the handbar here. The original designer didn't do this, and we had to add this in later on, just because when we started looking at it, it was too big of a space. When you're up on the deck, to fall in was just a bad idea. So we ended up putting this panel in, this bar in. It also helps with
coming in and out.
into the interior.
Yep, I like it. Let's start with the electrical panel.
Electrical panel, the vessel's got 5 new AGM batteries, 2 house, 1 dedicated for the engine, 1 for the generator, and then 1 forward for the thruster and the windlass. All of the cables, battery cables that were originally in the boat were actually aluminum and have been changed out to copper. Panels have been redesigned so that we have organization. The panel on the left handles all the instrumentation, VHF, all of that. The other panels still handle refrigeration systems, water, all that sort of thing. Custom lighting. There is redundant GPS systems. There's the Garmin system down here below with AIS.
You had all this rewired? It's labeled and everything.
A lot of it's been rewired and labeled, yeah. Not completely, not 100%. But the Garmin system down here has an AIS receiver, not a transceiver on it. There's the new VHF system, and then there's an auxiliary VHF. There's two separate antennas. The main VHF goes up to the mast, and then the auxiliary VHF goes to the radar arch. There's a fancy stereo system in here. That's your battery check system to determine whether or not your batteries are charging. There's a new battery charger on board. Two new AC systems within the last 3 years. One in the main salon. Oh, don't open that. That's there's a mess in the nav station. I tried to hide stuff.
Okay. If you have more questions, contact Captain Z
There you go.
for more information.
It's got it all. This panel, by the way, is this
Cup
area
holder.
here is empty. We haven't figured out what to do with it yet, but it seemed like another good hiding spot.
Very nice. And tell me about the windows.
All of the windows have been replaced with safety glass, and all of the ports are brand new. All of the hatches are new with shades and screens, as you would find in any brand new boat. The matriarch of the boat is Cleopatra.
Why did you choose Cleopatra?
I'm into Egyptian history, big time. Big time.
And the symbol on the bow
Is the Eye of Horus.
and the meaning behind that.
Well, through Egyptian history, the Eye of Horus is a sign of protection and safety.
Beautiful. Did you redo the
The headliner is all teak and holly. Yeah. Designed, redesigned.
when it was in
That was done 2014, somewhere around there.
2014? Okay.
All LED lights. Here we have LED lights in the ceiling, red LED light over the nav station, blue over the bar.
Woohoo! The bar. We'll stay here.
We have LED lights, indirect lighting underneath both sides of the cabin. At night, this is a sight to behold. I have to say.
Indirect lighting. I like that.
It is this vessel at night is something to see.
And the rug is
It's
custom.
a Home Depot special. It happened to fit.
They really did a good job of restitching around.
It's completely rebound the original.
And
model.
the wood underneath is beautiful. It's not hiding anything. Excellent. Let's start at the bow.
Okay. Standard bow, actually. Standard V-berth. The only unusual part about the V-berth in this is there's actually a bow thruster down below.
Woo!
And a 50-gallon fuel tank underneath the V-berth.
So you have a bow thruster.
There's a bow thruster on this.
Do you remember what the horsepower is on it?
God, I don't know.
kVA or
I know I can spin this thing on a dime.
okay, that's and it didn't come with a bow thruster, obviously. It was something you installed. Do you remember when you installed it?
Again, 2014.
Okay.
Yeah.
2 doors. And can you tell me about the forward head?
Well, both heads are new. The actual systems themselves. Haven't done a vacuum system, but was looking at doing it. Other than that, everything else in here is fairly original, except for the panel there on the side for the shower divider. It just allows for making the head feel a lot bigger than
Right.
what it
I like
actually
it.
is.
A nice improvement.
The crystal baccarat glasses do not go with the boat.
Sorry, guys. We got plastic lookalikes.
Sorry. The galley we completely redesigned. put in a refrigerator freezer drawer unit, as most modern boats have. It's a 12-volt 120 combination. Redesigned the galley so that this was the original 110 refrigeration that had to be charged with the generator, and then redid the countertop. We have storage underneath, and then something else that many boats seem to overlook for some reason is a trash bin.
You got blue lights inside.
Of course.
It's awesome. I like
trash containers so that you can get rid of what you need to get rid of. Nice, clean, well lighted. If you want to go in the engine.
Yeah, let's take a look.
The engine room, the oil in this, as Captain Z can attest to, is as clear as honey. Both bilge pumps have been completely rebuilt. There is a fire suppression system in the engine room down below here that automatically deploys. If for some reason it does not deploy, there is a valve switch up here that you can manually pull to set the system off. Filtration system for the two freshwater tanks. We carry about 150 gallons of fresh water. Transfer valve here to be able to get to either or tank.
And how many hours are in the engine again?
I think it's over there. 3,200, is it? I forget what's on the dial.
There we go. Come on, focus. There we go. 3704.
Something like that, yeah.
Yep. And then the generator. Oh, what is the horsepower in the engine? One more time.
66.
66 horsepower. Yanmar.
Yep.
Okay.
What about 26?
And how old is that engine?
As far as I know, it's original.
Okay.
I don't. It came with the boat. That's
Okay.
one of the only things that didn't get replaced.
All right. Electrical outlets. AC's blowing freezing cold. I love it.
Yeah, like I said, 2 new AC systems. Most of the lights in here have been replaced to LED. The older ones have not. Those are still the 12-volt systems and standard, but most of the other stuff is changed out to LED systems. There's a 50-gallon fuel tank underneath here, and then the 4 systems batteries underneath that.
So you have 4 AGM batteries, right?
4 AGMs here, and another. You can't mix the AGMs. They have to be, I guess, the same.
Right.
So they tell me. Battery switching systems down here.
AGM's are the more expensive batteries, so thank you.
Well, I know that was
Did you rewire everything?
everything?
That's all new wire.
That is all brand new wire that goes out to the panels and to the batteries and all that.
Beautiful. And you were telling me up above about how you replaced all the fuel lines.
Yep.
Can you
Let me go back here to the engine room. The system runs to this panel. I can choose, we have 2 tanks, 2 50-gallon tanks. We have an engine and a generator, both running on diesel. So we can change which tank we pull the fuel from for either engine or generator, and we can change which tank we put the excess back into when it's not burned. As we all know, diesel engines don't burn quite efficiently.
So you can change the CG of the yacht with the fuel.
Right. Yeah, we can balance the boat out. If you're finding that the boat's too high in the bow, we can put the return fuel to the bow and weight it down a little bit further. Or if you're finding the stern's a little bit too light, whatever.
All new heads.
All new heads. New Raycor filters. Completely. Both systems, first and second for both tanks. Magnetic, static fuel filter system. Priming bulbs for both in the event that you lose prime.
Which is really nice to have. That's a nice touch.
We also have, you know, one other thing I didn't tell you guys was there's an oil pump in here, which is anybody who's tried to change the oil on this thing, as Captain Z already knows. There is actually an oil tube that comes here. So we push the button on here, and that pumps the oil out of the engine, and you just nicely place it into a container so that you don't have to make a mess all over the place.
I like it.
So that actually just kind of stores right up in place.
Nice.
We have utility storage, toolkit, extra stuff, vacuum.
Beautiful. I'm sure you're going to be sad to see this go. I'm sorry your plans got delayed.
Unfortunately, life has its hazards.
A cedar closet. Carrying the American flag, of course. American-made vessel. Lots and lots of storage.
And then we
Half
have
centerline queen. Beautiful.
12 volt, 110 volts TV. With a built-in DVD player, of course. Didn't have any other way.
Gorgeous.
Do you want to talk about hidden storage?
No.
Okay.
Not here.
Not here.
Oh, it's beautiful. Does this open up to the engine?
That opens up to the engine water filter.
Okay.
Yeah, we can get that. Gives you easy access there. This actually closes now. So
Come back here so you can take a good look at what she looks like. This vehicle.
oops. The ports in the back are new. That was not an original design.
They even have shades on them.
Yeah, they have shades and screens.
I love it.
The design was that when you use the system outside with the Bimini and the cockpit, and you funnel the air down into the aft cockpit from the bow, that you're allowed to, you can get the air out by opening the back hatches.
Nice flow. It's back when you didn't need AC.
Yeah. Well, also you don't necessarily want to run the generator in order to get the AC going all the time.
Big hatch.
The other thing this has is a full bow to aft Caribbean shade screen.
Ooh, that's nice.
It is Sunbrella material, 7 pieces, fully custom fit to the shrouds, and goes all the way back to the aft Bimini. The ports have shade panels on them, custom fit, just the same way you would on the hatches. That pops right off. As you can see, it's just
Real simple.
so all you do is put that back on.
Done by bungee,
Just
so
the
you
way
don't
you
have to
do
tie
it.
anything or mess around.
Put it back up in place, and you're good to go.
Beautiful. Blocks out all the light.
Yep.
So when you want to recover from that hangover, you don't get blinded. Lots and lots of storage space.
Yeah. I don't know what to tell you.
What kind of generator does she have?
You know, I don't know what the wattage is. Somebody told me it was 8 kilowatts.
Okay.
In fact, the guy who did the survey said, you know, you could power 5 of these boats with it.
Nice.
I don't know. I mean, I'd welcome anybody who knows electronics better than I do to tell me.
You have it professionally maintained, so all the oil's been changed.
Oh yeah.
Can you talk to me about the standing rigging at all?
Yeah, we just had it all checked out. All the chain plates were completely checked out by Emery Marine, and all the standing rig is brand new when we did the mast.
Chad Shakespeare does a fantastic job, so he stands behind his work.
Well, the rigging and stuff was done by Sparman USA.
Okay.
Out of where's he? Augusta? No, not center of the state. Give me a name.
Gainesville.
Gainesville, that's it. Yeah, he's in all the boat shows. Nice guy. Excellent work.
Can you tell me about the bottom? What's your draft?
Oh, 5.5 feet. It's what they call a shoal draft. It's been completely ground down, completely de-blistered, re-epoxied, and reapplied. And
That was done when?
that was again 2014.
Okay.
The fuel tanks on these are notorious. They were originally in the keel, and they were notorious for leaking. In this particular case, the keel at the time when we had it hauled was core drilled, and all of the fuel drained out of it, and then replugged, so that we didn't have any fuel, excess fuel sitting down in the keel, which would give odors. You know, as most sailors understand, diesel fuel smell, not a good thing in a boat.
Very nice.
All of the headlines to and from both heads have been completely replaced also. So,
Do you remember the gallons on the water heater?
on the water heater, you know, I don't know. It looks like
It's
about
pretty
20
big,
gallons.
yeah.
Excuse me one sec.
Thank you very much, Vinny.
Oh, my pleasure.